tucked away deep inside the Division 2 settings menus, are a collection of things that can make your gameplay easier, your time with the game smoother, or just make your overall experience more enjoyable. So, here is 10 settings that you may have missed in Tom Clancy's The Division 2. First, a thank you to my supporters over on Patreon, more on how you can support at the end of the video. Hello, I'm Abrax and I've played way too much Division 2. In this video, I'm going to go over 10 settings that are a few of my favourites that I think every agent should be aware of. Starting by answering a question I get in a lot of my videos, and that's, how do I get my damage numbers to appear like this? This is quick and easy to do, and I've always found it cleans up the screen a little bit mid-fight, getting rid of all those jumping numbers that are making it harder to see what you're actually trying to shoot at. For this one, open up the settings menu, head to UI, scroll down until you see scrolling combat text. There are 3 options here: random sphere, which is the default, floating, which is what I use, and 2D, which is similar to random sphere, but without shading, making it look a little flatter. Sticking with the UI menu, for any of you out there looking to get into raid speedrunning and looking for an easy way to log your time, the game already has you covered. Just below scrolling combat text, you'll find Raid Speedrun UI. This adds an extra element to your HUD that won't just log your times for the raid, but will log your time per encounter, which is always a nice to have, helping you see what parts of the raid you need to cut the time down a little. The UI menu also has a few other interesting settings. If you're not a fan of the colourful loot beams reaching for the sky, using the loot beam visibility setting will give them a much lower profile, so if you're the kind of player who prefers the game looking slightly more realistic, then this might be a setting for you. You know what? While we're talking settings, why not just change the entire HUD? I know this setting exists on PC, but you will have to let me know in the comments if it is also possible on console. This is as easy as heading into the settings, going to UI, and finding Customize HUD. This lets you literally move HUD elements anywhere you like. Your minimap, text chat, XP bar, whatever, wherever. The next 2 I am pretty sure are PC only, but if you take a look, console players, you may find something similar hidden away. I've just always played PC, so I've never had a chance to really explore console settings. First, we have the Instant Use Skill hotkey. Head to the key mapping menu in settings, and you can assign both Instant Use Skill 1 and 2 to any free key you have. And what this will do is, as it says, instantly use a skill. This can be very useful with any skill where you want to drop it directly at your feet, like a healing chem or hive, or quick dropping a turret or seeker mine, or just whatever you feel could be useful. A big use for this one is instantly firing off a sticky bomb wherever you're already aiming. This saves you having to ready the skill first before firing, saving a bit of time. Personally, I have my normal skills mapped to Q and E on the keyboards, but I also have my instant skill for whatever I have on E on number 5. That way I have a lot more control over whichever skill I have assigned there, which for me is usually some kind of hive or chem. Along with that, in the key mapping menu, there is also hotkeys for look at team member 2, 3 and 4. Unless you've played your fair share of MMOs, these might seem like odd settings, but bear with me. This is essentially for those true heroes who like to run healer or support in the group. Having these shortcuts gives you the ability to quickly snap to whoever on your team needs a quick armor top up. It can take a bit of getting used to, but once you've mastered it, you will wonder how you ever lived without it. The next one is a personal favourite of mine. After you've used a skill, any skill, it will go on cooldown by showing you this little loading bar. It's always nice to see the skills on its way back, but it's not the most accurate system. Well, if you head over to the settings then gameplay, you'll find show numeric skill cooldown time. This, as it says, will display a numerical cooldown over your skill, giving you a much better idea of when it's next going to be ready and ready to use, which is pretty nice. If you are a fan of photo mode but keep missing out on those action shots due to, well, action shots, then boy do I have a setting for you. Head to settings, then gameplay, and find the exit photo mode when taking damage. Make sure this is set to off and you'll be able to sit in the thick of the fight, getting all those shots ready to throw up on your socials. This is a bit of an odd one, but bear with me. If you are a skilled player, or maybe you're just a little heavy-handed with grenades and need more of an accurate way to aim them, then there is a little trick that might help you out. Head to settings, then accessibility. I know, bear with me. Find colorblind mode and change it to Trianopia. This does change the colour of some of the rarities, making gear sets look bluish and exotics a little pink, but it also adds a much more detailed throw reticle, giving you more information of exactly where the skill or grenade is going to land. I told you, it's odd, but it works. I've no idea why this isn't the normal throwing reticle, but what can you do? And finally, here is one for people who like to keep their gameplay nice and sharp. In settings, go to gameplay and right near the bottom, you'll find a setting to get rid of that really weird screen effect that triggers every time you change your specialization weapon. Between SHD, season, and proficiency leveling, there's enough weird things blasting us with effects, getting in the way of our clear shot. At least if we disable this one, we have one less to worry about. Personally, it would be pretty nice to disable every leveling effect, but this at least strips away one layer. And that is 10 settings you may not have known about in Tom Clancy's The Division 2. Are there any I've missed? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And as always, a massive thank you to my supporters over on Patreon for helping me make this channel the best it can be. If you would like to join them, you can support for as little as £1 a month. You'll find a link to the Patreon in the description below. Or why not consider becoming a channel member? Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.